I'm Ian at Hubner and you're watching That Guy in the Firebird.
Hi everybody and welcome to another video. Today I'm in Portsmouth once again at Port Solent for the Port Solent car meet. This happens twice a month and it's the first time I've actually come along, and so far I'm really impressed. There's some really amazing vehicles on display which we'll be taking a look at. So please stick around and I hope you enjoy what you see. I'm Stuart McLachlan, but you can call me That Guy in the Firebird. I had a really good run along the M27 in the Firebird this morning. I've got to say, on cooler mornings such as today, it runs really well, even though the catalytic converter is frankly knackered. I guess it's something to do with the air being denser or something like that. It makes for a better burn. But anyway, as you can see, I'm parked up and I'm in good company, parked next to this Oldsmobile 98. Lincoln Continental. I believe this one is a 1971 model year, but don't quote me on that. This thing truly is a land yacht. I mean, it takes a long time just to walk from the front of the car to the back. It's amazing, although it must take forever to clean. There's an additional meet happening here at the same time. It's the Mustang Owners Club of Great Britain, and looks like they've got quite a good turnout as well. I was just talking to one of the spectators who reminded me that the Apollo astronauts all drove C3 Corvettes, very similar to this one. This is of course the Stingray model, and isn't it just awesome to behold? I mean, the side pipes, the curves, the lines, it's a beautiful piece of automotive engineering. Absolutely wonderful. Here we have a 1966 Plymouth Fury 2. For those of you who saw my review of the movie Christine recently will be familiar with the Plymouth Fury, and this is how that car evolved. Although I suspect this one doesn't go around killing people. Hopefully it doesn't. Well, here's something we saw earlier this year at the Concord Classics show, this GMC Sierra. But my question is, where's Gunnar today? Well, here's something a little different, something you don't see very often, an original Honda Civic. My, how they've changed. So I think it's great that when you come to meets like this, you see sports cars, American cars, classics, customs, all sorts of things, but you see really rugged vehicles like this, the off-road vehicles. It's great to see them out and about, being used as they are intended to be. this does bring back memories. I actually learnt to drive in one of these, Vauxhall Nova. Don't see many of these around anymore. Of course, the Nova was succeeded by the Corsa. Here we have a Holden Monaro, the Thunder from Down Under. This is an Australian car which features the famous LS1 V8 engine. I saw one recently at the Banbury Festival of Motoring, and quite impressive sight really. I was about to leave the meet and then this amazing vehicle turned up which appears to be a Mercedes, but apparently looks can be deceptive. I'm here with Terry and Ruth Norman, who are the owners of this stunning vehicle. Terry, what is it? What am I looking at?
You're looking at a replica of a 1936 Mercedes 500k Marlena. The car was named after Marlene Dietrich. The story behind it was Hermann Goering drove the 740k Special Roadster, which is 17 feet long and weighed nearly 3 ton. Marlene Dietrich went to Mercedes and said, "Can you make one like that I can drive?" Because in that day, all Mercedes used to make was engines and rolling chassis. They would go off to body companies and have their bodies put on them. They would build them. And Marlene Dietrich asked if they could make one smaller, and they came up with this, and they called it the 500k Marlena.
You say this is a replica. Do you know who built it?
Yes, it was built by a company in America called Classic Roadsters, which unfortunately went into liquidation, I think, about 10 years ago.
Okay, and is it a fiberglass body?
Yes, all fiberglass on a hand-built chassis.
So I presume this would have been left-hand drive originally?
Yes, it was a left-hand drive originally when we got it, and I found it very awkward to drive in this country, especially if you're stuck behind a lorry and you want to overtake. You can't, you have to pull right back, see if it's clear, and then go for it all the time. I didn't like doing that. So when we had the pandemic, I decided to make it into a right-hand drive.
What's it like to drive?
You have to drive it. You can't keep taking your eyes off the road. It's a long bonnet, so the slightest movement here is a big movement at the front of the car. So you literally have to look what you're doing all the time. But it drives okay. You can drive 70 miles an hour, but you just have to watch what you're doing.
Terry, Ruth, thank you so much for talking to me and for sharing your beautiful car.
Thank you.
It's a real treat. As I say, I was about to leave and then you pulled up and I thought, whoa, what's this? I've got to talk to them. So thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right.
Thank you.
As George Harrison once famously sang, all things must pass. We've come to the end of the video. This has been the Port Solent car meet. I do hope you've enjoyed yourselves. I've had a really good morning. I've spoke to some really nice people, seen some really interesting cars. I've been told that the turnout wasn't as high as it has been in recent times, but there was still a decent amount of people here, and it just goes to show that even on a cool autumnal morning such as this, people are still coming out to share their passion for their cars and for automotive culture. It's been great. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care for now. I'm Stuart McLachlan, and as always, you can call me that guy in the Firebird.